Areas north of Bathurst are taking stock this morning after a tornado ripped through Meadow Flat and Clear Creek, destroying one house and badly damaging others. 2 people were taken to hospital with injuries and a third was treated at the scene. Roofs were ripped off, trees were uprooted and power lines brought down.
The storm cell brought heavy falls across the east coast, with hail reported in several states and territories, and the Bureau is warning more wild weather is set to come. We'll find out just where from Nate in a moment, but first to Hugh Hogan, who is in Clear Creek for us. Good morning to you, Hugh. So the Bureau of Meteorology did confirm that it was in fact a tornado?
That's right, Lisa. A confirmed tornado here on the central tablelands of New South Wales. They say it started around 2 p.m. here at Clear Creek, which is just north of Bathurst, but it actually travelled for about 30 kilometres southeast towards Lithgow to an area called Meadow Flat. Now, as you've heard at the top of the hour there, houses were almost completely destroyed. There's corrugated iron sort of like lying around everywhere, and quite literally hundreds of trees here have been completely sort of stripped of their branches, and some have just been completely uprooted. Some of the locals who have lived here for 40 years say they've never seen anything like it. A lot of the reports say it all happened really quickly. It just turned really ferocious and dark quite quickly, and was reasonably scary, as you can imagine. Yeah,
we're looking at the pictures of it now, Hugh. I can imagine if you were watching that approaching, you'd be wondering what on earth was going to happen. As you were travelling to where you are this morning, what were you seeing along the way?
Yeah, a lot of, as I said, corrugated iron, trees down across the road. Last night there was a fence had been wrapped around a power pole, which was making clean-up efforts difficult. As part of the emergency response, Essential Energy actually cut power to quite a few hundred homes. A lot of that power has managed to be restored, but because it's been so wet recently and the ground's so boggy, they're having trouble getting the equipment in to replace some of those power poles, so it could be a bit of a wait for some isolated areas. But yeah, it's quite remarkable being out here, Lisa, just looking around. There's branches everywhere, corrugated iron, there's tarped houses everywhere. The SES was working till about midnight last night, working with locals. There was 11 official calls for help to the SES last night from this area, and they worked through to the night, but a second storm came through while they were sort of trying to tarp up houses as well, which made things difficult. But it's a nice clear day today so far, so the SES are looking forward to some good weather to sort of go out, properly assess the damage and continue helping those people that sort of got the fright of their life yesterday.
I bet. And, you know, just thinking of the power of the rooftops being wrapped around power lines, all those challenges that you've just mentioned then must make it tough for the clean-up. So how long do they think it's going to take? How's it going?
They're not quite sure yet because they were so dark last night. Then they had the storm on top of, behind the tornado rather. They're not quite sure. That's why they're going to come out today and reassess everything. As we've seen, some houses have been completely destroyed, others sheds completely destroyed. So yeah, it's a bit of a wait and see at the moment as authorities have a chance to sort of have a look at the damage. Thankfully only 3 people were injured, and only 2 of them actually had to go to hospital. And one of the paramedics that responded to the scene said, looking at the destruction, I'm sure you can see it in the pictures right now, it's quite remarkable there weren't more injuries.
Yeah, Hugh, thank you for all those details.